Well, it's a story that touched all of us, I'm sure. It happened at the Babs Mill Lake near Solihull in the West Midlands last week. 3 young boys, 2 brothers, Samuel Butler, Finlay Butler, their cousin Thomas Stewart, in dire difficulty on that lake. And 10-year-old Jack Johnson went out there to try and give these lads a hand. All 4 of them very, very sadly died. As I say, I think the story touched all of us. But now there's a campaign that's been launched to get an award for Jack Johnson, an award for valour for Jack Johnson, for bravery. And I have to say, sometimes I think that we dish out awards to all and sundry when perhaps they're not deserved. This time, I think there may well be a very, very strong case for acting well. Rob Lofthouse is a military veteran. He's on the line to me from Portsmouth, and he's got a petition going, and he wants to get Jack Johnson a posthumous George Cross. Rob joins me on the line now. Rob, good evening. Welcome to the programme. I think you're doing exactly the right thing. Would you please just explain very clearly to the audience on telly and radio what the George Cross, and I say this because it's given out so rarely, just tell them what the George Cross exactly is.
So the George Cross is the civilian equivalent of the Victoria Cross. The criteria to meet such an award, it has to be impulsive. Normally, it's most certainly reckless. It's selfless in the endeavour to help others. And certainly, above all, it's courageous. And that is on par with the Victoria Cross, which is awarded to armed forces personnel for extreme gallantry.
Yes, I mean, it's a medal that is given out, well, Victoria Crosses too, I guess, but it's a medal that is given out very rarely. What makes you think, Rob, that your petition's got a chance here of succeeding? Have you got MPs supporting you? Have you got public figures supporting you? Is that what you're looking to try and do?
So when the story broke, as you can imagine, kids going through the ice, it's devastating. I mean, if I was to lose any of my kids in such a thing, it would absolutely shatter me. And when you come to learn of the boys, certainly Finlay and Samuel Butler, their cousin Thomas Stewart, and then the 4th lad came into the equation, Jack Johnson, who was only 10 years old. He was not part of their party. He was just happened to be walking on by, I suppose, and he took it upon himself to try and lend a hand, and it cost him his life. And that just had me, not as well as heartbroken, just had me in absolute awe that normally you expect lantern-jawed heroes to come to the rescue and save the day. This is a 10-year-old boy that gave everything in his, I dare say, his childhood naivety to try and do some good on a bad day. And I said to the wife, I said, that's got George Cross written all over it. And, you know, I was trying to keep myself together, and Vicky was very calm and understanding. She went, well, why don't you why don't you start one of them petitions? And I've only been doing it about 3 or 4 days now, and it's just got over 7,000 signatures. No political.
Well, I tell you what, Rob, we are going to do our best here at GB News to help you get that number up substantially.
Thank you, Nigel.
Absolutely. I think you're right. As I say, I don't often go along with these. I think sometimes we're inclined to say, let's give people awards and honours, but I think you're absolutely right. This is George Cross material. This is the equivalent of people in the Blitz going into burning buildings and taking people out, and sometimes getting away with it themselves and sometimes not. It's absolutely on a par with that. I agree with you entirely. How do people help you? How do they get to your petition?
So they can go on the change.org website. They're welcome to look me up on the social media platforms, in particular Facebook. I'm quite prolific with the link in sharing it on my platform, and just follow the link and then follow the prompts thereon.
Right, good. So change.org is the easiest place to go, yeah?
Yes. And and it's basically George Cross for Jack Johnson. Fine.
Well, look, I'm going to sign up, and I'm going to encourage others, Rob, to do it. You're doing exactly the right thing, and well done
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you